Hi everybody. When I first started selling honey, I used just a 5-gallon bucket like pretty much everybody else. You know, I was small, just a few hives. But as my honey business grew, I had to graduate to bigger sizes. So the next one I made was for a 7-gallon tank, and that allowed me to leave a gallon or two in the bottom and just added 5 more gallons. Then with this heat pad that I made using a sunbeam heating pad, just glued onto the back of this reflective insulation. And this little heating pad, for those of you out there who still use a 5-gallon pail, I mean, this thing, the pad only cost $13, and it was some scrap reflective material that I had. And this will put the honey over 100 degrees very quickly. So if you want to save some money, just make up just a pad like this. So anyway, what was frustrating about this is, as my honey business grew and had to pour honey in, turn the pad on, let it set overnight so all the wax will come to the top, so you get nice clean honey when you're drawing it out, is that the valve would constantly drip. It would drip on the bottle. I have to stop, clean off the bottle, go back to filling it up. So it got to a point where I needed something bigger. So I was almost ready to bite the bullet and pay $250 for a stainless steel tank. The size that I needed was around 16-18 gallons. And then I was going to buy the dripless valve for another 140 bucks. So just before I did that, the inner voice in me said, I think you can make it cheaper. So I thought about it for a while, and what I found was this LDPE. It's a low density polyethylene tank. It's FDA approved. It's extra thick, and according to Wikipedia, this thing can stand constant temperatures of 176 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 80 degrees Celsius for our European friends, and a short time at 203 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's 95 degrees Celsius once again. And it's FDA approved. So I had my tank, now I had to come up with the valve. So this gentleman right here, his name is Vincent Enter, and on September 23rd, 2017, he actually had a video on YouTube where he cut one down on a lathe, but he only used a 1/2-inch valve. I wanted something bigger, so I used a 1-inch valve, and I cut mine down on a chop saw, and I'll show you in a minute how I did that. So now I got the valve. Now I was either buying a stainless steel bulkhead fitting, and that was going to be another $130. So what I came up with is the valve, which is 3/16 stainless, the elbow, also stainless, the washer stainless, and what I've got connecting it is a 1-inch short nipple. But on the inside, there's also a gasket and another washer, and that's a pipe lock nut. And what you want to do is drill a hole as close to the thread size as you can. And I put a little bit of food grade silicone, I mean just a smidgen around the inside threads. And you don't want you don't want to excess, otherwise it'll squeeze out. And then of course you're going to need help putting this in, because you just can't reach in on both sides. It's impossible. So you tighten all that up, and what this system does here is it bypasses having to buy a bulkhead fitting. So now I got the valve, I got the fitting, I got the tank, and I'm just going to show you real quick how easy this is and how dripless it is. Got some honey here, pour this in. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on this one. There it is. And I mean, it is instant. There is no dripping, nothing. You can fill up the smaller bottles just as easy. Control the flow extremely accurate. And once again, no drips. And something else that I bought for it too is the silicone heat band. I mean, this thing, it adjusts from 30, which is 30 degrees Celsius, if you can see the gauge right here. 30 degrees Celsius, that's 86 degrees. 40 degrees Celsius is 104, and 50 is 122, 60 is 140 degrees. And this thing will max out to 150. So you're not even using a portion of its capacity, but the wide band heats up the honey extremely quick. It lets all those wax particles float up. So when you start pouring off, you have just clean honey. Now, this is the ball valve, and don't really be afraid of these things. They come apart extremely easy. What you just unscrew it here, the ball falls out, the handle comes out. Now this gets pushed and pulled out like that. Now the only thing that I could not get out was this packing fitting right here. So what I did is I took paper towel and saturated with water, stuck it through the hole, and on the back side here, that gasket has to come out too, otherwise you're going to melt it. So what you do is gasket out. Now all it is all stainless steel. You want to measure how deep your threads are so you can get to that first little ridge right there. That's the seat for your valve. Come out here. You know you've got to come right to the edge of that nut. Screw this on. Extremely tight. Now you can use a multitude of things. I use my chop saw. You just stick that in the chop saw, line it up, and of course clamp it down. Then you can make several cuts. Boom, boom, boom. Now if you don't have a chop saw or a cut-off tools like these, most every shop in the country uses a chop saw. Muffler shop uses them, everybody. If you took your valve to a shop and say, could you please cut that off right there? Most of them will probably do it for free. Some may charge $5, $10, but it's still worth it. Remember, that brass valve was $87. This one was $14, so you've got some money to play with. So once your valve's all done, you've cleaned up the edge, you put the ball valve back on, screw that on, and you have got a dripless valve that bypasses the need for any type of bulk tank fittings, and you have saved, get this, if I had bought this as a stainless steel tank along with the drip off or the dripless valve, it would have cost me $387. I built the valve, which literally only took maybe an hour, hour and a half to machine the valve. And you have to machine a little bit of threads off the stainless steel washers, or not the threads, but the inside, so it goes over the threads. But anyway, that whole unit right there was $71. Yeah, the valve and all the fittings were $71. The tank was $49 for a total cost of $121. By making this right here, I saved $266. You got to sell a lot of honey to make up that. Anyway, I'm going to list all the components that I used to build this outfit, so you can order right from the same companies I did. And one other nice thing about this being an open top is that it's got a clamp ring, so when you clamp that on there, nothing is going to get inside, and it's going to be completely moisture proof. So anyway folks, that's my my new deal that I made up and been using. I just wanted to show you before I put it back in use again. And have a good day and good luck with your bees.